Hello, I'm Craig Brailsford, and welcome to another episode of Small Stocks, Big Money. For those of you new to the show, RedChip is an investor relations, media, and research firm focused on emerging growth companies. Our unique platform combines global multimedia with traditional investor relations, reaching investors around the world. Now, today's show features interviews with the executives of two public companies. First up is Alta Global Group, a pioneering technology company dedicated to reshaping the global martial arts and combat sports industry. Through its innovative platform, Alta seeks to maximize monetization opportunities within the sector by enhancing consumer participation and enriching community engagement. We'll learn more when we speak with the CEO later in the show. Up next is Nova Minerals, a gold, antimony, and critical minerals exploration and development company focused on advancing the Estelle project, comprised of 198 square miles of state of Alaska mining claims, which contains multiple mining complexes across a 22-mile-long mineralized corridor of more than 20 advanced gold and antimony prospects, including two already defined multi-million-ounce resources and several drill-ready antimony prospects with massive outcropping stibnite vein systems observed at the surface. We'll learn more when we speak with the CEO later in the show. Now, before we get to the first interview, our quote of the week. It comes from the book, Small Stocks, Big Money. Do your homework. Understand companies you invest in forwards and backwards. That quote comes from Charles Diker of Diker Management, and it is featured in Chapter 8 of Small Stocks, Big Money, a book of exclusive interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Get a digital copy on Amazon today for just $18. Now, let's get started with our first interview today with Alta Global Group. Hello there. Today we have Nick Langton, CEO and founder of Alta Global Group, trading on the New York Stock Exchange American under the ticker MMA. Nick, welcome back.
Great to be here today.
Nick, Alta Global Group making significant strides in the combat sports industry. For our audience unfamiliar with Alta, can you start by giving us an overview of the company's mission and your vision for its future?
Certainly. I mean, what's so exciting is the growth of mixed martial arts and combat sports in the last decade has been absolutely stunning. The fan base growth has been enormous. In fact, recently the UFC were remarking global fans sat at over 700 million. What has happened with that remarkable fan base growth has been an enormous desire for people to get in gyms, train and learn combat sport at a hobbyist and fitness level. And so really what Alta's mission is through our technology platform is to connect this massive global fan base with opportunities to train in the hundreds of thousands of martial arts academies that exist around the world. And so really our mission is to make sure that that brand landscape is much easier for a consumer to navigate. And so by partnering with gyms and enabling them to participate on our platform and receive our customers, it's a wonderful opportunity to really aggregate the sport at a grassroots training and participation level.
Nick, your recent partnership with UFC Gym is exciting news. Share with us more about this collaboration, and I want to know, how is it going to expand Alta's footprint globally, and what does it mean for the company's growth?
Yeah, I mean, look, when you look at the brand of UFC Gym, UFC clearly the most preeminent brand in combat sports globally. UFC Gym, a wonderful collaboration between the founders of the gym and their relationship with the UFC. They've got, over 150 locations around the world. For Alta to be able to provide our programs and our technology to their gym partners throughout the world, and especially starting in North America, it grows our footprint significantly from a revenue opportunity, and it also allows us to partner with one of the most enviable brands. And so this is a really exciting opportunity to grow our gym footprint at scale and work with, again, one of the most envied brands in the space.
The Alta Warrior Training Program, that offers a unique pathway from MMA fandom to participation. Could you talk about how this program, which is now being integrated with UFC gyms, is driving revenue growth and fan engagement?
Look, Alta began its life by creating programs that made it really easy for beginners to get involved training martial arts and combat sports. And so what this program does is create a really easy entry point for people who followed the sport, watched the sport, have an interest in training, getting fit, you know, becoming immersed in a local gym community. And so what we have proven over a number of years now is that our programming is a wonderful way for people to get started. So what it enables us to do, particularly in conjunction with this incredible brand that UFC Gym represents, is take this program and really take it to the masses and leverage our famous talent partners, so that people who want to get involved in training can, you know, as we often say, go from the couch to the cage. Not that they have to compete, but they also have an opportunity, if they train enough, that they can also compete in their own amateur contest. So it is a wonderful entry point product, and we've put, you know, tens of thousands of people through this program globally.
You recently have had some eminent additions to your advisory board, Nick. Mark Mastrov, he's the founder of 24 Hour Fitness. Also, Adam Sedlak, the CEO of UFC Gym. What drove these accomplished professionals to support Alta?
Yeah, well, I mean, you're talking to Adam later today when you interview him. He's the CEO of UFC Gym Group, and you know, Adam was really central in bringing together the partnership between Alta and UFC Gym. Part of that, as a technology platform, again, we're the technology that matches the customer with the physical gym location. So we don't run gyms ourselves, whereas in Mark and Adam, you've got two enormously accomplished fitness executives who bring a huge range of understanding about, you know, the in-gym and the physical in-club experience. And so as we scale our business globally, the opportunity to not just partner with Adam and Mark as UFC Gym as a customer of Alta, but also to really use their brains and experience as we scale our business globally. It was a wonderful opportunity to ask them to join our advisory board, and we're delighted that they were very happy to do so, and we know that that'll really help us drive growth a lot, particularly in the next 12 to 24 months.
Now, Nick, Conor McGregor, that famous MMA superstar, has been partnering with you for a while, and recently he increased his ownership stake in your company. Give us some more information about this high-profile partnership.
I mean, this is really super exciting for investors. So number one, Conor has been an early stage investor in Alta. In fact, long before we went public and traded on the New York Stock Exchange, Conor had invested in the business. More recently, we were able to strike an amazing deal with Conor for him to, you know, effectively become our primary global ambassador. And what bigger name could you want? You know, over 60 million followers on social media, such an incredible track record of creating enormously valuable businesses. And when Conor created his partnership with us, the way we set up the compensation was through performance shares. So Conor is incentivized to grow his equity stake in our company as our shares go through intervals of $7.50, $10, $15, all the way up to $20. So it's a remarkable opportunity to leverage one of the biggest names in world sport to bring huge attention to the company from a customer acquisition standpoint, but also bring incredibly exciting attention to the company as an investment vehicle. So we could not be more excited to have Conor expand his role with the business.
Alta has a scalable CapEx light business model. Can you explain how this model contributes to sustainable growth and what advantages it provides to your stakeholders and investors?
Well, I think what's really exciting is that we know there are the total addressable market of MMA fans and people training in combat sports globally is really large. So in the US alone, recent IBIS data suggests over $18 billion is spent annually training martial arts and combat sports. We know that there is millions and millions of consumers contributing to that overall market size in the United States. And so what's exciting too, though, is that the gym landscape that serves that customer cohort is really large. In fact, it's predicted to grow to 67,000 unique gyms by the end of calendar 25. So what you've got is a really vast market, but it's also a market that is really fragmented when you consider the number of gyms. So from Alta's perspective, we don't own any of these gyms. We don't operate any of these gyms. We're simply the technology that helps them attract customers, and also the payments platform that collects customer revenues, keeps our share, pays a share onto the gym. So again, for us to scale as this sector grows, you have to do that through an efficient technology platform. So we're really aggregating the underlying gym owners and participants and providing all their inventory and opportunities to train to this vast customer cohort, which just seems to grow every year.
Nick, wrap up with us with the essential value proposition. Why should investors take an interest in Alta Global right now?
Look, this is a wonderful time to invest in the fastest growing sports vertical in the world. So mixed martial arts and combat sports has been on an absolute tear for a number of years now, best exemplified by the stunning success of the UFC. What I think is really fascinating is when we look at the amount of growth in participation in the sport, and we see that as a really highly related to the speed at which the fan base is growing. This is a wonderful opportunity to invest in a company that is aggregating participation at the grassroots. And we're doing it in an incredibly scalable way because we're leveraging our technology to activate all the coaches and gyms that sit in this marketplace. So if you love this sector, and a lot of investors do, this is one of the best pure play ways to get exposure to the growth in martial arts and combat sports. And last but not least, we trade under the stock symbol MMA, which is the name of the sport itself. So I think that represents another really exciting dimension as we bring fans together, ultimately to invest in the community of MMA and the growth of this sector.
Nick, that is a really engrossing story. Thank you for sharing it with us.
Pleasure to be here today.
Now, to get more information on Alta Global Group, visit MMAinfo.com. You'll see research reports, fact sheets, presentations, and the latest videos. It's all free, and you can even subscribe to email alerts to stay on top of the latest news. You can also call 1-800-RedChip to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter you can subscribe to at RedChip.com, featuring emerging growth companies like Alta Global Group. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, visit redchip.com and subscribe today. In addition to our newsletter, you can also order your copy of Small Stocks, Big Money, a book written by RedChip's CEO, featuring interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Order your copy on Amazon today for just $18. Now, let's move on to our next interview today with Nova Minerals. Hello, today we have Christopher Gertyson, Executive Director and CEO of Nova Minerals Limited, trading on the NASDAQ under the ticker NVA. Chris, welcome to the show.
Nice to be with you, Craig.
Now, Chris, for viewers who may not be familiar with Nova Minerals, can you give us a brief overview of the company and its primary focus in the gold and critical mineral space?
Nova Minerals, we have the Estelle project here in Alaska, large project in terms of the land area, 200 square miles. We've been focused on the gold, and we've been very successful in that realm, almost 10 million ounces to date globally. And internal to that, economic resources of in-pit at $2,000 gold price of over 5 million ounces. But in addition to that, we've also had very exciting discoveries now of a lot of these critical elements. And the main one there is antimony. And so that's really another opportunity that we're pursuing here in Alaska at the Estelle project.
Now, as you mentioned, Chris, that flagship project, the Estelle Gold Project in Alaska, spanning a massive nearly 200 square miles. Can you tell us more about the significance of this project and tell us why is Alaska's Tintina Gold Belt such a promising location for gold exploration?
Indeed, the Tintina Gold Province is one of the most prolific belts in recent decades for gold discoveries and gold production, over 200 million ounces now documented here in the belt. This is the land of the intrusive related gold system. This is the land where we've all heard of it, the Alaskan gold rush. Now we're starting to realize where all that gold came from. And so the Estelle project just sits on the southern end of that belt. And we've been called, it's a trend, it's a gold trend, and we've actually been called the Carlin of the North. If your viewers are familiar with the Carlin trend in Nevada, this made companies like Newmont and Barrick. And what we're onto here at Estelle is certainly very similar in terms of scale and potential resource endowment. And we've already seen that. So 10 million plus ounce deposits, not uncommon in our neighborhood. And that's certainly what we're onto at Estelle. That almost 10 million ounces that we've defined to date is across two deposits, Corbell up north, which is a bulk tonnage, very large system. And then down south on the property, RPM, which has really become the jewel in the crown, very high grade system there. And the company intends to focus. The beauty of the project is that it has great optionality in terms of how we attack this, how we develop it. So certainly the project ultimately is a large scale project that the major companies are after. Not many of these left in the world. But in this current environment, we also have the opportunity just to go after RPM first, was our current strategy, lower CapEx, high margin, smaller operation, and then grow ourselves into the much larger project with that cash flow on our own or potentially a strategic partner, and we're certainly on their radar.
Chris, it just sounds amazing. Earlier in your interview, you mentioned antimony. I want to go to that now. Antimony emerging as a key part of your focus, particularly with the Stibium and Styx prospects. Many of our viewers may not be familiar with antimony, Chris. Can you explain what that is, why it's important, and how Nova Minerals discoveries position your company
and
to benefit from the growing demand for this critical mineral?
Economic numbers from that. We're a gold company, and we found gold at these prospects, Stibium and Styx, and you might say the antimony found us. And so I'm not sure if your viewers are familiar, but antimony is one of the most strategic and critical elements known to man that most people don't pay attention to or even know about. It's used in all the clean tech, green tech, defense tech, and the key one there is it's used in all the munitions. We produce no antimony in the United States. Totally import reliant on China and Russia, who have captured the market. And believe it or not, for our munitions, we import antimony. China has just announced that they are curtailing all antimony imports. This has drawn major concern and interest from the Department of Defense to establish and fully secure U.S. supply chains for antimony, and they see our project playing a large part in that, and we're pursuing that opportunity in the form of grants, these grant opportunities to get into production as soon as possible.
Looking ahead, Chris, what are some key milestones investors should be watching for in the coming months as Nova continues to advance?
We've just completed our last round of drilling at RPM. News flow coming in the coming weeks here with all the drill results, and then a resource update before the end of the year. And so I already mentioned the target, 500,000 ounces at 2 grams per ton, very high margin material. Then also concurrently, we have a lot of these technical studies. We're laser focused on delivering a feasibility study to the market by next year, in 2025. That's a key milestone in this business. That opens up all kinds of additional funding opportunities. In the interim, there's also this antimony opportunity that I mentioned, where we're looking for DoD grants to commence production on that within the next 18 months.
Chris, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Is that okay?
Go for it.
All right, now what's the essential value proposition? Sum up for us. Why should investors take an interest in Nova Minerals right now?
There's no bull market like a gold bull market. Perhaps, maybe the antimony bull market currently happening might be even better than that. But currently, if you look at Nova Minerals, it's exciting time. We just listed on the NASDAQ. If you look at our North American peers with similar assets listed on the North American exchanges, these companies are running 3, 4, over 10 times, some of them, our current market valuation. And so that we believe coming onto the NASDAQ, once people appreciate our story, the scale, the opportunity with the gold and the antimony, once people appreciate that story, it's an opportunity for a re-rate for Nova Minerals. Currently, Nova Minerals market cap sitting around $25–30 million. And this is going into a gold and antimony bull market. Big opportunity for the investors to get in early.
It's the Alaska gold rush and maybe antimony rush for 2024. Great meeting you, Chris.
Pleasure.
Now, to get more information on Nova Minerals, visit nvainfo.com. You'll see research reports, fact sheets, presentations, and the latest videos. It's all free, and you can even subscribe to email alerts to stay on top of the latest news. You can also call 1-800-RedChip to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter you can subscribe to at redchip.com, featuring emerging growth companies like Nova Minerals. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, visit redchip.com and subscribe today. In addition to our newsletter, you can order Small Stocks, Big Money. This is a book written by RedChip CEO, featuring interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Get a digital copy on Amazon for $18. Now, let's recap the companies featured today. First, you met Alta Global Group, MMA, on the New York Stock Exchange American. Alta Global Group is a pioneering technology company dedicated to reshaping the global martial arts and combat sports industry. Through its innovative platform, Alta seeks to maximize monetization opportunities within the sector by enhancing consumer participation and enriching community engagement. Learn more at www.mmainfo.com. Then, you met Nova Minerals, NVA, on the NASDAQ. Nova Minerals is a gold, antimony, and critical minerals exploration and development company focused on advancing the Estelle project, composing 198 square miles of state of Alaska mining claims, which contains multiple mining complexes across a 22-mile-long mineralized corridor of more than 20 advanced gold and antimony prospects, including 2 already defined multi-million-ounce resources and several drill-ready antimony prospects with massive outcropping stibnite vein systems observed at the surface. Learn more at www.nvainfo.com. Don't forget to check out our stocks page. It is the biggest small cap stock portal in the industry. Every company listed on the NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange with market cap of $2 billion and less. And it's categorized by industries. Watch this show again and explore hundreds of small cap stock videos on RedChip's YouTube channel. And be sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter and learn about a lot of small cap companies. Also, go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, if you have any questions about any of our public companies featured on today's show, call us at 1-800-RedChip or email us at info@redchip.com. In closing, remember, while small caps can provide significant gains, you must be prepared for the downside. Small cap stocks are among the most volatile of asset classes. Some of the companies featured on this show are RedChip client companies, and we may own stock in these companies, so please always read our disclosures at redchip.com. Thank you for being with us today. We'll see you next week with some new, exciting, emerging growth companies.
Why is global superstar mixed martial arts fighter Conor McGregor a proud investor in Alta Global Group, stock symbol MMA? Because Conor McGregor knows that the most valuable company in this vertical will be the one that converts the 640 million MMA fans to participants. Alta Global Group, online and in-gym mixed martial arts programs with 600 gym partners globally and growing. Alta Global Group, stock symbol MMA.
Antimony is a critical mineral used in high-tech and the military, vital to America's national security and economy. But China and Russia control 80% of the world's supply. The U.S. government is rapidly securing a domestic supply of this critical mineral. Meet Nova Minerals, symbol NVA, with high-grade antimony discovered at its project in Alaska and prices at historic highs. Nova Minerals is on a mission to fully secure U.S. domestic supply of antimony. Nova Minerals, NVA.